this far from the ship and already I had a problem with my bike. Not as beautiful as this beautiful dome though.
Also as empty as that one.
Crew members on the cruise ship, we complain that it takes us like 5 minutes to walk from our house up to where we work and stuff. And I was looking around and I'm like, which one of these is the king's bedroom and where is his office? And that is like too big. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Kate.
And I'm Jörn, and we bring all kinds of cup-related content right to you.
That's right, dating ideas, challenges, competitions, and cruise ship crew content. So if that is your kind of content, please hit that subscribe button.
It's another day and another crew tour, but today with a twist. Us as crew on AIDA, we have a couple perks and benefits that we can use. And one of those is, since last year, that we can rent crew bikes. On this ship, we have 5 bikes for us to borrow. We don't even have to rent them because they are for free. And we just have to announce ahead, 1 day ahead, that we want to have them. And therefore, the next day in port, we can just borrow them and take a little trip into the city. So where are we and what are we doing?
That's right. So today we're in Copenhagen, but the catch is we only have 3 hours in our schedule today to be able to go outside. So I have created a map on Google Maps of all of the spots that I think might be cool or something in Copenhagen that's famous. And we're just gonna pop on these bikes and see how many we can get to in our 3-hour time frame. So let's go.
Let's go.
This far from the ship and already I had a problem with my bike. This thing fell off, which is not an essential part of the bike luckily, but it's still not my bike and I don't want to be responsible for something broken. So thank you. Hopefully that stays on now. Problem number 2, we at least cannot see the ship anymore, but my chain popped off. And now Jörn is trying to get it back on.
Can you lift up the...
Yeah. Look at the mermaid. Welcome to stop number 1. It was extremely loud outside of the ship. There's buses there, there's construction, so we decided to go to the first stop before talking to you. Basically, picked up the bikes, we got the keys, pulled them off the wall you saw, and adjusted the seats, put the helmets on, and then we're on the way. We have exactly now 3 hours to hit. I have 12 spots on my map that I mapped out. Let's see if we make it, but we minimum got 1, so.
First stop accomplished.
Yes, how you feeling?
Feeling good, like we had 3 tries to get here because first you lost your front wheel part, then you dropped your chain. And yeah, let's see if that bike makes more problems, but so far so good.
So far so good. Let's see what we find. The next stop is the Kastellet. So we just need to go up a little bit back the way we came and then into this big old star. And see, I don't know if we're allowed to ride in there, but we can walk. So let's go. It's so pretty. Look.
After the St. Alban's church that you just saw with a fountain in the background or in the foreground, which is actually the only Anglican church in all of Denmark, we now made it to Amalienborg. Gonna make you a little bit dizzy because this is a former private property which since the 18th century serves as the residence of the Danish king Frederik X, because his castle actually burned to the ground. And it's arranged around an 8-corner square, which is where we're standing right now, and therefore you can spin all the way around to see every part. And once you're here, it's definitely recommendable to come here at noon at 12 p.m.
Yeah.
12 p.m. for the guard exchange, which is always a highlight to watch. So let's take a look around and then get up to that dome somewhere there. The Frederik's Church, that's our next stop.
Let's go!
Frederik's Church, very recognizable by the huge dome on the top, was built from 1770 to 1874, so more than 100 years long, but typical for that time, wasn't even done yet. So they opened it in 74, but didn't finish it for 100% until 20 years later in 1894, and since then it's here all the way with a beautiful dome on top. And for us, we're gonna go for the next stop.
Not as beautiful as this beautiful dome though.
Also as empty as that one. Nyhavn is probably the tourist attraction in Copenhagen besides the Little Mermaid. Nyhavn means so much like new port, and it's basically just a little branch canal that connected the port of Copenhagen with the biggest square that they have here. And Hans Christian Andersen, the most famous author and poet in Denmark, in the history of Denmark, used to live here. You might not have heard of him before, but you have heard of the fairy tale of the Little Mermaid, and that's written by him. So, history told, he lived on one of those little houses here. They are very colorful, very beautiful, and we're gonna make our way to the next one.
Welcome to Christiansborg. This used to be the royal palace until it burnt down in the 18th century, which is where a very rich family offered Amalienborg to the royals. They moved in there and have slowly been buying every building so that they now own Amalienborg. And this got rebuilt and is now just government spaces. Or if you know exactly what it's for, you can write that in the comments, because that's all I know. You know what I was just thinking? Crew members on the cruise ship, we complain that it takes us like 5 minutes to walk from our house up to where we work and stuff. And I was looking around and I'm like, which one of these is the king's bedroom and where does his office? And that is like, why do you want to walk so far? Also in your residence, it's too big. It's too big. This is bigger than a ship. I'm not into it. Welcome to Town Hall Square. There's the Town Hall, and here, like we said, Dizzy is the square. We are not going to take you into what's behind me, which is Tivoli Gardens. It's an amusement park. If you want to know what that's like, we had a vlog about it when my family came on, from the United States, came on AIDA. We went to Tivoli so you can see what it looks like inside. It's gorgeous gardens, amusement park. And also, behind me, that street back there, next to the Burger King somewhere, that's a very good walkable shopping street. It's also featured in that same vlog. So if you're curious what those two places could look like, go check out those videos as well. But in general, Tivoli is also cool to look at. It's just not bike friendly. And that shopping street, same thing, really good to walk up and down, but not bike friendly. So we're gonna skip it for today and keep it moving, right, Jörn?
Keep it moving.
So, at the Round Tower, we've officially hit our 10th spot on the list that I wanted to do today, and actually 11 in this video because Jörn added one spontaneously when we went past the one church and fountain. So, to celebrate the 10th stop, I thought we could just get a little treat, a little snack. What do you think?
Okay, let's try.
Let's go. I'm feeling much better, are you?
Absolutely.
I wasn't feeling bad before, but I guess I'm feeling even better, is what I should say. Back to the bikes.
Back to the bikes.
There's the most beautiful dome in all of Copenhagen again. Lion looks like, in case you're blowing wind in his face and his mouth's going. Look at it. So behind me is the Rosenborg Castle. I have nothing historically to teach you about it, I don't know. But when you're in the park that surrounds the castle, there are also two museums right outside the park, which we will see in a second, the Natural History Museum and a Museum of Art. So they are also both notable and all walkable within this area.
Made it all the way back to the ship. Now we're at the gangway again. Just drop off the bikes, helmets, keys, everything, and then let's summarize what we had today.
What did you think?
I have actually to say that I don't know if it's from the biking itself or just from putting the bikes onto the hooks again, but because my arms feel so exhausted right now just from like trying to wiggle it in there. But yeah, I really enjoyed the day. And I like to bike, and obviously on the ship you don't get to bike so much.
That's
and
true.
Now that we have that opportunity, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you to AIDA Mar, and I think the whole AIDA fleet now has bikes everywhere, but that's a really cool addition, and we really like it, and we should be doing it more. Unfortunately, it's the end of our contract right now, but we know for next contract we can be using those a lot more. But Copenhagen, that's why you're here and why you clicked on it. Copenhagen is so bikeable. We literally were outside for exactly 3.5 hours, but we spent a half hour in the Espresso House. So everything you saw that we saw was in 3 hours, and I am a slow biker. I'm a chill biker. I'm not a sport biker. So Jörn could have probably done it in half the time if you're trying to be fast. And I like to look around. I stop and I smell the flowers and stuff. So I definitely think Copenhagen is bikeable. It's also a very bike-friendly city. There were some streets that were actually like bikes first and kind of like pedestrian streets where there would be like maybe delivery cars and stuff, but it's not general traffic. And then on the very main streets, they do have bike lanes, which I know a lot in the United States we do not have yet. Very bike-friendly. I felt safe. I didn't feel scared. We never had a near miss of anything because of a traffic law that we didn't know. It was very understandable, very easy, very safe, and very green. I feel like Copenhagen is really nice blend of we're in nature for a second and then we're back in like full city with like 4-lane highway and then back in, you know, and so that was also very enjoyable.
You also have to say, you might think now, well, great, you guys got the crew bikes, but I'm on vacation in Copenhagen and I don't have a bike available. They are also very friendly to bike sharing. They used to have e-scooters that when they bloomed everywhere and were everywhere with different companies, but they don't have them anymore anywhere in Copenhagen. Now they have bike sharing and it's very easy to organize them with an app. So anybody who comes here, if they have a bike on by themselves or not, you can just
they're
rent a bike.
relatively cheap. Yeah, it's a good price. Yeah. So the most expensive thing was the coffees at the Espresso House, you know, but
Definitely.
in general, the day was free. So if you're in Copenhagen and you have a very short amount of time, we definitely recommend doing bikes, yeah?
Yes.
Definitely recommend it. Write down below in the comments which places that you wish we would have seen that we didn't, that you think would also match, or maybe a little bit further out of the way that you think people could do that you don't want them to miss, whatever else you want to write in the comments. Anyway, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you in the next video.
See you. Bye.
Bye.